grown-ups, this part of our session is called Caregivers Corner, and it is for all of the adults who are helping our little ones transition to kindergarten. So we might have moms, we might have dads, we might have grandmas, grandpas, great aunts, babysitters, sometimes even older brothers and sisters can really benefit from this part. So today we are talking about social emotional development in early childhood and how that impacts readiness for kindergarten. This is a huge topic. We could talk about this all year. So we're going to narrow it down. And with the children, we're really going to be focusing on waiting turns and sharing, which is a huge adjustment for them, coming from being one very important person in their small family to one of probably about 24 kindergarten students, which is the average for districts around our area. So in terms of social emotional development, I just want to let you know that in my mind, we start with this because it is probably the most important part of kindergarten readiness. My day job is being a school psychologist. I have a lot of experience with working in early childhood and kindergarten settings in various school districts over many years. And I can tell you that the first reason, and usually the only reason, children get referred to someone like me or an intervention team in the first semester of the school year is if they're struggling with social skills or social emotional development. So it's really the make or break area. It's also when you ask kindergarten teachers what's most important for your children to be successful in kindergarten, these are the first things they list. So let me give you some examples of what kinds of things are important. We already talked about sharing and taking turns. Knowing when to be a listener versus knowing when to be a speaker. That is tough. Knowing when to be a leader versus knowing when you need to follow. Following directions. Accepting other people's ideas and contributing your own. Standing up for yourself, but doing so in an appropriate manner. Using your words, not your hands and feet. Learning to compliment others. To say hello. To learn other children's names. Knowing that when you smile at other people, especially the teacher, that can really help you be more successful. There's actual research on the more children smile at their teachers, the more the children are appreciated by their teachers, and those children get paid attention to more. So there are skills that we can teach our children that will help them be more successful in kindergarten. And some children learn these skills almost by osmosis. They watch other people, they pick it up, they're savvy with social skills, and it comes easily. Just like some children learn to read easily or to talk easily, or in my youngest son's case, ride a two-wheeler with no training wheels. No one had to teach him, he just jumped on and did it. So some kids learn social skills that way. Other children really need to be taught. It needs to be scripted. It needs to be spelled out for them more. All children benefit from that. So we're going to give you some ideas for how we can help kids practice those skills. I want to let you know developmentally that it's difficult for children this age, and there's a few reasons why. Children, when they're younger, are working from the back part of their brain a lot of the time. Their amygdala, which is the emotional center of their brain. It is thriving at this age. The frontal lobe, which is where logical, formal reasoning is developing, it is still very immature because they're learning. So a lot of the lessons that we want to teach children will happen when they're calm and when they're not upset. If you try to reason with a 4 or a 5-year-old when they're very upset, it's very difficult and they're not learning a lot in that moment. We want to teach them at their most teachable moments, which are their neutral and calm ones. So we'll give you some ideas for that. The other thing that makes social emotional development, especially waiting turns and sharing, very difficult at this age is that children are in a stage called egocentric thinking. And that means that they think they are the center of the universe. And I'm not joking about that. They really do think that they are the center of the universe. So for example, if you have a 4 or 5-year-old driving in a car and it's nighttime and they see the moon out the window, they might get really upset and say, "Why does that moon keep following me?" They really think the moon is following them. They see themselves in the center of their universe. So when they're toddlers and young preschoolers, their job is to become more independent and to see themselves as different than the grown-up that they're with. They can take it a little bit far though sometimes where they actually see themselves as the center of the universe. That is why sharing and waiting turns is very difficult. And when I asked most families and parents, is that an easy skill for your child or a difficult skill? Almost everybody will say that is a difficult skill for their child. So we're going to have some strategies to work on some of these social emotional skills in this segment.